What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to the $10,000 SBA EIDL grant. Senators Rubio and Cruz, please do me a huge favor. Give this video a thumbs up, hashtag EIDL with your comments below. And if you're new to this channel, you're going to want to subscribe and hit that bell. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today is part 2 of our 3-part video series, which will wrap up by Tuesday, when I personally address President Trump in one of the most epic 5-minute rants you're ever going to see me do. Just to do a quick recap, before we address the Honorable Senators Rubio and Cruz, 24 hours ago, we addressed Jovita Carranza, the head of the SBA. That video, thanks to your support, has been seen more than 10,000 times in less than 24 hours. And as I mentioned in that video, a copy of all 3 are going to go to every senator, every congressman, every governor, every publication, every news outlet, every radio station, every television station in this entire nation. And as the saying goes, it only takes one. Someone is going to run with the story. I am making myself available right here and now to the media. If you want to talk to me, if you want to get me on camera, I'll be glad to do it. Because what has taken place since last Wednesday is nothing short of extraordinary. I just made another phone call to the SBA, and you got it. They're still telling people $1,000 per employee on the grant. And yes, the limit on the loan is still $150,000 instead of $2 million, which is where it belongs. Senators Rubio and Cruz, let me say you're of my generation. And Senator Rubio, I spent half my life in South Florida. I actually met you on the campaign trail in the late 2000s. I started off in Pompano Beach, right in your backyard. I built a house in Delray Beach in 2000, a place that you've certainly been a time or two. And what I've seen from you, Senator Rubio, on Twitter over the course of the last few months, when you're speaking straight from the heart, is exactly what could get you elected president of the United States. Senator Cruz, you are someone I affectionately call the Lion of the Senate, the Lion, because your fight, your grit, your determination, and what we saw, regardless of political party, you do to Rod Rosenstein over the FISA fiasco in the last few weeks was nothing short of extraordinary. And as I was preparing to do this video, I've never used a script, never edited a single video, not once. There was a question that kept coming to mind, one single question, and that is this. When, Senators Rubio and Cruz, when is the Republican Party, a party that I have voted for in the past, when is it going to be the party of Lincoln, the man who abolished slavery? When is it going to be the party of Reagan, who told Gorbachev, tear down this wall? When is the Republican Party going to be anything other than for the rich? I'm a half an hour from Midtown Atlanta. If I wore a MAGA hat down there, I might not get back in one piece. If I was to sample 10 people at random and say, what does the Republican Party stand for? Every single one without fail would say the rich. When are we going to stop talking and start doing? We have 30 million small business owners, a third of which, 10 million, average family of 4, that's 40 million Americans that are this close to going under. Many of them have put out videos on Instagram and Twitter talking about taking their own life because they can't get any help. Like me, they didn't qualify for PPP. Maybe they had a business that was less than a year old. Maybe they didn't do their payroll or their taxes properly or on time. Maybe they were in a state that had the old system with respect to unemployment, and by the time PUA was made available, it was too late. And of course, by then they draw down their credit cards only to find out that the SBA hits them with 10 or 15 hard credit pulls, 100 points or more down on their credit score. We have upwards of 10 million small business owners and 40 million Americans, a massive voting bloc in this country, whose business is knocking on heaven's door. And Chairman Rubio, who heads up the Senate Committee for Small Business, and Senator Cruz, a pit bull who is known to get shit done. I, for the life of me, can't imagine why. After what she went through on Wednesday. Why, as of an hour ago, are they still saying $1,000 per employee on the grant and $150,000 instead of $2 million on the loan? Why hasn't she come out? Why haven't you come out? Now that we know $270 billion of cash is sitting there on the sidelines, another $130 billion of unspent money on the PPP, over $250 billion, just sitting there, waiting to be handed out in the form of the grant as per the CARES Act's intent and law was written. And then loans that we now understand can be 6 months instead of 3 months of expenses, which is great news for everybody who's watching. But I want to know when. When are you two going to step up to the plate, stop talking, and start doing? That regardless of color, creed, religious, spiritual, or even sexual persuasion, when are you going to stand up, as President Trump would say, for the forgotten men and women of this country? Well, I got news for you. They have been forgotten in the last 3 months. Now is the time for the both of you to step up to the microphone and announce before the site opens next week to everyone aside from agriculture, and say in front of the entire world to see, if you're one of the 5.4 million small business owners that's currently in the queue, even if you've gotten $1,000 per employee like this guy has, before the end of next week, you will get your $10,000 SBA EIDL grant in full. Senators, we are about to celebrate our nation's independence on the 4th of July. Sadly, millions of Americans, many of them suicidal as we speak, are watching their life's work go down in flames. You too, along with President Trump, that I will address tomorrow or by Tuesday at the latest, have the power to pick up the phone, to step in front of the microphone right now and say that you, Miss Jovita Carranza, will honor the intent and the law known as the CARES Act as written. May God bless you in the United States of America.